Smoking is injurious to your health. You probably know that by now. Health officials are constantly drowning in why you need to quit smoking. Not that smoking is without its benefits, but the disadvantage far outweighs the benefit. Have you ever thought about what happens to the body while you smoke, or what happens to it when you don't? Numerous studies have highlighted the adverse effect of smoking on the body. But if you wonder about the benefit you have when you quit smoking, you should totally watch this video. Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to look at what happens to your body between 1 month and 1 year when you quit smoking. If you are still undecided why you should quit smoking, perhaps this video will give you enough reason to completely stop it while you can. Surprisingly, people have different reasons why they fall into the habit of smoking, despite several warnings from health officials about the dangers of smoking. In the United States, it is the leading preventable causes of various diseases. Yet, more and more people are falling into this unhealthy habit daily. According to statistics and facts, 19% of the world's adults smoke tobacco, with 37.8 adult smokers in the United States alone. But it is also estimated that the percentage of smokers will decrease by 4%. Certainly, an encouraging news. However, it doesn't erase the fact that a percentage of the world's population are still fond of this habit. Even when a warning on the cigarette pack says smokers are liable to die young, yet some people still go for it. There are 4 major reasons people are still compelled to smoke a cigarette: peer pressure, parental influence, media influence, and stress factor. The need to smoke often starts when a teenager feels the need to fit with peers. Then this habit later follows them into adolescence, making it difficult to quit smoking. No matter how many times you tell a teenager the dangers of smoking, a more significant percentage of them end up being a smoker, talking about how cool it was. According to the American Cancer Society, 9 out of 10 teenage smokers turns into an adult smoker. But do you know that peer pressure is not limited to teenagers? Adults have been known to smoke to fit into a setting like their workplace to build a sense of belonging. Before you bat an eyelid, they have developed this habit. Parental influence is another leading cause of smoking. Children who grow up with smoking parents are more likely to pick up smoking than those with not smoking parents. However, parents who are non-smokers but doesn't monitor what their kids are watching may find themselves in the same boat due to the powerful influence of social media. Another reason people start smoking is to numb themselves, especially if they look for ways to cope with psychological or physical stress. Initially, nicotine has a calming effect, but it creates a continuous withdrawal cycle in the brain and body, eventually degenerating a smoking habit. You may be wondering why health official keeps warning you about the dangers of smoking. In fact, you may be already familiar with some. Well, here's what goes in the body when you decided to take a puff of a cigarette and why health experts continue to warn against it. According to a report from the United States Surgeon General Office, tobacco, which is the main ingredient of a cigar, contains many additive chemicals that have been implicated as the causes of cancer. Immediately you take a puff of cigarette, the lining of your nose and esophagus becomes irritated, which may lead to coughing if it is your first time. The chemicals kills off large percentage of good bacteria present in your mouth, which eventually leads to dry mouth and bad breath, a situation that is common among chronic smokers. In addition to this, it can discolor your teeth, gum, and lips, which is a dead giveaway for smokers, especially the formation of fine lines around your lips. After about 20 minutes of smoking, nicotine enters the bloodstream and increases your pulse and blood pressure. Since it is a stimulant, causes the brains to release certain chemicals or creates cravings for food. Once these cravings are not satisfied, you feel anxious and irritable. After 48 hours, the nicotine begins to leave your system. However, continuous and regular smoking will lead to the depletion of mucus coating and protecting the lungs. Another adverse effect of smoking is loss of smell and taste. It takes the body 2 full days to flush out nicotine from the body completely. Imagine what it will eventually happen when you smoke regularly. It eventually leads to permanent damage of some organs in the body, not to mention increasing the risk of cancer and heart disease. Smoking also prevents proper blood circulation, leaving you handicapped to perform any exercise or any physical activity that matters. Several risks are associated with smoking, but quitting can usually benefit the body however hard it might be. While you don't need to wait long before seeing the effects of quitting, some particular improvement will require by time. Many fears that it will take a long time before they start seeing the effect of quitting, but what you should know is that changes start occurring in the body the moment that you quit smoking. This video will show you a timeline of what goes on the body when you quit smoking. 20 minutes after you smoke the last cigarette, the blood pressure begins to normalize itself. As you already know, the nicotine present in cigarette increases your pulse and blood pressure, a situation that increases your chances of developing a heart attack, lung problems, and smoke. As the blood pressure continues to normalize itself, the blood circulation also improves. 8 hours after taking your last puff, the lungs function improves, which ultimately improve the body's oxygen level. Smoking causes irritation and inflammation of the lungs and airways. This eventually leads to the production of more mucus, which thickens over time as smoking becomes frequent. This extra mucus is prone to infection. Also, with the extra mucus, the blockage of airways is unavoidable. Hence, the restriction of airflow as the lungs cannot effectively clean out the mucus. Smoking destroys the lungs' tissues and reduces the number of airspace, thereby decreasing the rate of oxygen circulation in the body. There is reduction of cilia, the broom-like materials that traps and eliminate germs from the lungs, further causing a restriction of airflow. All these began to return to its normal function the moment you stop smoking. As your airways open up, there is less coughing and short breaths. In reality, you will find it easier to breathe as the days go by. After 12 hours, the body begins to rid itself of toxins from the cigarette. Cigarettes contains many toxins including carbon monoxide, a toxic and dangerous gas. If present in high amount, the gas is fatal and blocks oxygen from entering the lungs and blood. Continuous exposure to large amount of carbon monoxide can lead to suffocation, brain damage, or in some cases, death. Within 12 hours after smoking, the body begins to clean out the carbon monoxide from the cigarette, thus increasing the body's energy levels. 24 hours after quitting, the risk of heart disease and cancer begins to decrease. Now your body slowly comes into realization that chain smoking cycle is broken. You may already be aware that smoking raises the risk of developing heart disease. It reduces the amount of good cholesterol, thus making it difficult to perform heart-healthy exercise. It also increases blood clot, thereby increasing your chances of developing stroke. Gradually, you can see that the body has started repairing itself and getting back to its normal activity. After 24 hours, there is a tremendous improvement and your chances of developing some chronic diseases has greatly reduced. After 48 hours of quitting, the damaged nerve ending starts to regrow. Smoking damages the nerve endings responsible for the sense of smell and taste. At this point, you begin to feel the return of your sense of smell that has been dulled due to smoking. This is a good time to give yourself a treat or something that you love that is tasty and has a nice aroma. It could be your favorite food or snacks. You will be surprised they taste better after you quit. After 3 days of quitting, the nicotine present in the body would have reduced significantly. By this time, the body already notices the depletion of nicotine and this results in withdrawal. At this stage, some people experience moodiness, cravings, tiredness, irritability, and severe headache, and a host of other symptoms as the body is trying to adjust to the new development. This period is so uncomfortable if you are trying to quit. As you balance these emotions, you may be tempted to fall back into the deadly habit. However, it is only a phase and it will pass. For smokers with underlying disease like asthma, their symptoms becomes more pronounced during the period. But don't worry, this period won't last, although it is advisable to see your doctor about how to keep the symptoms in check. Also, within these 3 days, you find yourself breathing more easily as the bronchial tube inside the lungs begin to relax and open up. As this happens, the exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide becomes easier. In addition, the ability of the lungs to be filled with air increases, thus making breathing easier, and your lungs' health is improved. 1 week of not smoking is an important milestone in your journey. At this point, you have a higher success rate of quitting smoking completely. According to statistics, if you make it through 1 week without smoking, you are 9 times more likely to quit successfully. Furthermore, cilia present in the lungs begins to grow back. These cilia help prevent the buildup of mucus in the lung and effectively clean out dirt and other substances trapped in it. It also prevents bacteria buildup, which is vital for overall lung health. 3 months after quitting is also characterized by a huge improvement. If you're a woman smoker, at this point there is a great decrease in the risk of infertility. This is definitely a welcome, as you don't have to worry about being infertile or the chances of your baby being developed premature. Now you can perform more physical activities and your chances of developing a heart attack reduces even more. 3 months is also an important milestone, as you may have been able to survive the worst of the withdrawal symptoms. You may still experience some smoking triggers, however, you are more equipped to resist resist the urge at this point, you can also ask for help if you think you need it to overcome the addiction. 6 months after smoking, we'll see some people being able to handle the stressful situations better without needing to smoke. Furthermore, you will notice a reduction in mucus and phlegm when you cough. The reason is because the cilia and the lung are less inflamed and are not experiencing constant exposure to smoke and chemicals that are present in a cigarette. You breathe easier and is actively able to perform exercise. 9 months after you quit this addiction, you will realize that the lungs have significantly healed and you are able to take deeper and clearer breath. The cilia are more recovered and are well equipped to push out mucus and fight infections. Many smokers will experience a decrease in lung infections as the cilia are now properly functioning and well able to carry out its duties. 1 year after you quit denotes a remarkable milestone. By now, the lungs' health has greatly improved and the risk of developing a heart disease has now decreased by half. The smoker may not notice it, but smoking consumes cash which would be saved if you quit it. For example, if you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day and you quit smoking, imagine the bucks, how much you would have saved by the end of 1 year. Research has shown that subsequent years after you quit will decrease your chances of developing a heart disease, and you are less likely to die from lung cancer compared to those who still smokes. Your chances of developing stroke or cancer is now the same as those of a non-smoker. Smoking is hazardous to health. Health experts have been drumming it for years. There is need to create awareness of how dangerous this habit is and how it may lead to other unwarranted diseases. Quitting might look like a long journey, but trust me, you will definitely get there. Just take the decision to stop and you won't regret it. With this, we are at the end of our video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up by clicking on the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more content like this in the future. And click the bell icon to get notification for our upcoming videos. Smoking isn't healthy. It is not too late to quit now. Thanks for watching.